Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK Journey video. In this video we're going to talk about Gunnar and is he worth getting one copy of from your guild store or your stellar crystals based on his performance so far in Dream Realm. Now the reason I wanted to talk about this is today for the Dream Realm top teams, any of the Gunnar teams, they work even at one copy of Gunnar. So even the Shamir Aliceth version, this Balan Aliceth version, or the Silven Aliceth top team, one copy of Gunnar is still going to be beating out the no Gunnar teams, which is really kind of impressive and is a reason that picking him up, one copy of him, is actually pretty good value for you. However, it's not only just one boss. If we look at yesterday's boss, which was Seratiel, even here Gunnar worked at one copy and was still going to be the best team option for players compared to the no Gunnar alternatives, which were quite a bit weaker. As you guys see here, there was even a Gunnar no Aliceth team. So even if you were a newer player and you don't have Aliceth built yet, but you had Silven, you could still run this team at one copy of Gunnar and it would still be the top team for you for the Seratiel boss. So already in two bosses, even at one copy, Gunnar is still going to allow you to run the top team, which is a great performance. The only other boss so far where Gunnar has actually been meta is the Magmazard boss. He is in the top team. However, there isn't maybe a major score gap at least compared to the Nazarick team, but let's say you don't have Nazarick either, then there's a pretty big score gap and probably even one copy of Gunnar would still allow you to be on top. However, this one does have Aliceth in it. It is more pay to win. However, that is basically three bosses where Gunnar is top so far for this early part of endless difficulty, which is really as much as we could have hoped for him because a lot of bosses are not synergizing with Gunnar. Like Doomscourge is a summoner meta, which of course is not going to synergize very well with Gunnar. We'll have to see though in endless difficulty if anything's going to change. We'll see that tomorrow, but most likely not. Blightshroom, also we need to wait for more testing because he was good in hell difficulty, but in endless difficulty so far it's like that summoner squad. And again, if there's a summoner squad dominating it, Gunnar is not going to fit very well into that comp. Nocturne Judicate, of course not, because your key carry is frontmost and he cannot be getting the buffs from Gunnar. So that is basically the limitations. A lot of these bosses, Necrodrake and mobility is king here, so really, or summoner comp again. So really a lot of these bosses are not suited to Gunnar, but the bosses which are, he is really dominating. And so one copy of him is going to give you a big score gap. The other thing is, even in AFK stages, obviously not a cutting edge AFK stages where you need to have Gunnar Supreme Plus, right? That's a minimum. However, for players who are maybe like, you know, in early Apex right now, who are still competitive pushers, but maybe not, they don't have all the options. Gunnar is being used even at one copy for quite a number of record AFK stage formations, because he still provides a lot of his kit even at that one copy. That is basically the advantage of Gunnar. He provides shielding, he provides the attack speed buff even at the one copy, and that is good for AFK stages and is good enough for Dream Realm as well, which is just really interesting. Like the only major thing you're losing out on is the fact this plus 15 exclusive equipment, which is really a big breakpoint for Gunnar for Dream Realm content, for damage output, because it's a huge more attack buff you're providing to the ally behind him. And of course also the overall stats of Gunnar are going to affect the attack buff value, because the attack buff is scaling off of initial attack of Gunnar, not the actual target attack. And so obviously ascensions and exclusive equipment upgrades are going to help Gunnar's stats, and that's going to help his attack buff value. But eventually for AFK stages, you'll also want the Supreme Plus skill for the heal block, shield block, which is applicable for some very cutting edge, like high deficit stages if you want to be like, you know, the front runner in terms of pushing of AFK stages. But yeah, Gunnar overall has just been a really solid hero. I'm pleasantly surprised with his performance, even in early endless difficulty, because I thought maybe he would be phased out at this point. But for pre-endless, yeah, Gunnar is an absolute menace. For pre-endless, Gunnar is making huge score gaps. We only saw it briefly because Gunnar was released right at the end of pre-endless and, you know, hell difficulty. However, we're going to probably see it very heavily in the upcoming season, how dominant Gunnar is for the pre-endless. So a lot of people's priorities are going to be building Gunnar all the way up to plus 15 exclusive equipment, kind of minimum for Dream Realm, Supreme Ascension kind of minimum, and eventually you might as well Supreme Plus it. But Aliceth is also very important. And now this is the question a lot of people are wondering about. Should you invest into Aliceth or should you invest in Gunnar? If you have to choose between the two, I still think it's probably one copy Gunnar and fully build Aliceth. That would have to be my decision because Aliceth is having really good usage, and also she's the damage dealer of the team. And if you build up Gunnar but you don't have Aliceth, I mean, you may not even be able to run some teams, right? A lot of these top teams are using both Aliceth and Gunnar, but Aliceth probably more important because Gunnar can work at one copy, whereas Aliceth cannot. And there's only early endless. Once we make it deep into endless of phase 3, Aliceth likely will continue to remain on top. Aliceth is a very solid hero, very strong hero, and I'm kind of it's a little bit surprising the fact that she's not even getting close to being power crept yet. But of course, things can change when Contess comes out because we have no idea what to expect with that hero. Like this season has been crazy because we were expecting Contess right now, but no, Contess is being delayed, and we got another Dream Realm hero. And if Contess is also a Dream Realm hero, that could really shake things up. But yeah, overall, these are my thoughts about Gunnar. I think he's a definitely high value hero to get one copy of. However, if you don't have Silven at all, you don't have Aliceth at all, then maybe you don't want to get one copy of Gunnar. Because, like, the only team, like, for example, today, there was a great Shimura team, but it needed Aliceth. And if you don't have Aliceth, you don't have Silven, then really there's no Gunnar team left for you, right? And if you talk about the other bosses, Sarathiel, the top team is with Silven, and it needs Silven. It doesn't need Aliceth, but it needs Silven. So if you don't have Silven and you don't have Aliceth, then probably there's no point of you getting one copy of Gunnar because it's not going to change anything for you. But if you have Silven built, that is a reason to get one copy of Gunnar. If you have Aliceth built, that is a reason to get one copy of Gunnar. So that's basically what we have to talk, like basically share in this video. So hopefully this is helpful. Good luck with your summons if you do decide to summon for him. And if you have any other tips, feel free to share them in the comment section. That is always much appreciated. And again, I'm just going to give this public service announcement kind of why I'm including the paid promotion at the beginning of all my videos from now on. It is just to make completely clear and give that disclaimer that the affiliate link that I promote for the Farlight Store in each video, it does give me a small commission when you make a purchase through that link. And just so that is clear, because some people have basically, you know, messaged me or basically voiced their concern that they want it to be completely clear, transparent. So I will just be including that from now on, so that, yeah, because I think there's no harm in including it. But yeah, anyway guys, that's gonna be it for this video. And if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight Store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video in a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser. If you're planning to make a purchase, you can return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.